already been done.
Yes.
when they do the social service for the new civil service. Yeah.
So you're happy that we just tell them they need to sort that wire?
Yeah, because they put the thing about the bottom of the slide as well on there, didn't they? Which is another,
Okay.
yeah, it's almost the same thing, I think.
Council storage doesn't be dealt with litter picking equipment for Hill Lane.
Yeah, no, I haven't done anything about that. You want this because for, I mean, I know where to get hold of them, but, you know, I must do something about that. That's one thing I haven't done.
We said a couple of them, didn't we?
Yeah, just because I'll try and do that next.
And was it some gloves as well that you were
Gloves and just general. So,
Yeah.
I think you can buy them as kits actually.
Oh,
So it's a picking kits. So,
Okay.
um,
And in terms of if you need it, I don't think we need any high vis, but we've got high vis with the stuff in the cupboards.
Saying litter picker on it.
I don't think there is any.
Is there not? I thought
It was given,
No.
the flood group, it was
Yeah.
given to people.
Oh,
given
okay.
out.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
I've got Philip Vowles returned his to me when he was there, but.
All right, no worries.
But we can get.
Well, if you ever
See,
do
Colin,
that,
He's organised.
I think it's not, I mean, if we're only doing the litter picking within the car park, it's not a problem, it's only if we start doing something more on the roads. But, okay, next item, dogs on village green and patio area access. I
I
think
think
it
that's
was
one for you.
Amanda.
Yeah, it is. It's and David, because we, over the Christmas period especially, there were some people exercising dogs on the village green off leads, just letting them run around on the village green.
Last night.
And last night, David saw people after dark parking up, letting their dogs out. There's also a problem, and this was probably a big bone of contention, but the people that do dog training in here always used to let the dogs out to toilet in the area in front of the toilets. They are now coming down, going into the patio and using the village green. Which, the problem is it's completely open there. So, and I think it's too much of a temptation, especially people maybe, I'm not only saying dog training, they probably don't know it's not supposed to because there's no sign, there's nothing there. So they're coming out and just going, oh, good toilet. People are, I think the temptation maybe you come home from work, let your dog on the green, it's dark, there's nobody around. And I said, we've certainly both witnessed people over the Christmas period, and people, there are more.
Well, they wouldn't be picking up fouling
No,
either. so-
exactly. No, they're not. And there is, we've seen dog muck on there on several occasions. And the other thing is, there's the sign down there, the little sign, the original sign. We just don't, well, we don't know
It's in the wrong-
discussed
it's
it,
in the
we've
wrong
both
place.
seen it.
Because you can't see it from the car park because the bit of fence, because you've got to snake through the fence.
Yeah.
The bit of fence obscures it, and when you're in that bit, it's sort of down your
Yeah.
side, and you don't notice it. You just walk past it.
So I was going to suggest that we get some proper big signage saying no dogs under any circumstances allowed on this village green.
So
On there, and I think we need something along here to stop people from just.
So one question I have with regards to that, and I'm totally in support of what you say, is things like the Fate Village on the Green. If we're turning around and saying no dogs under any circumstances, how will that impact
They've
the
never been
events?
allowed.
Well, they have, okay, I wasn't aware of that, okay.
It's, yeah.
I just didn't want us to, with one hand, take it away and say, yeah, but instead of this, so that's fine then.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with the signage on the main front, and I think also the entrance to the green should have some form of swing gate or gate to stop.
Yeah. Yes, that's what.
And
David was saying.
across the patio here, and I know you're going to object, but I think, and I know it's a multi-use area, but I think there should be a fence and a pair of double gates there, or maybe a single gate, big gate, so that you can have access at the right times. But at least it would stop this business, because they are a law unto themselves.
Well, the other thing is you've got families literally taking little children out there and letting them run loose, which they should be able to do, and you don't know what they're going to run into. And this problem is escalating, and I think it's whether it's the same people doing it, but it's not just one or two now. It's a problem.
Okay, in which case, I mean, are we saying we need to get a quote for fencing off in some sort of gates.
I think so.
Also, obviously, if we're going to do that, we probably need to be looking at refencing the front of the green, because that's not dog proof.
No.
At the moment, it's a wooden.
Exactly.
It is quite
Or
rough.
some,
Chicken.
Well, you're rotten right in the corner as well.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because the two, I think the top and the side, the only bit that's animal proof is the bit that runs up the two sides.
I mean, certainly, I think that what David and I both witnessed independently, and it was only as we discussed it, is people pulling up and just going in there, or coming down here and going on there. And but normally, you know, late at night, early in the morning, or whatever, and apart from obviously the dog, you know, training people, which just come down here and go on there. And there's nothing to stop. The trouble is, there's nothing to stop.
However,
I think if we potentially, I think, because we need to get a ballpark figure as to what we're talking about in terms of costs here, because obviously we haven't, it's not sort of budgeted for at the moment. So if we get at least one quote for what it would be to fence across the patio with some sort of gateway access, and what it would be to fence, in fact, across the front of the green.
Yeah.
Do you think we need it as industrial as it's that? I just wondered if
It depends on how animal proof you want to make it.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't.
Some picket type fence, that'd be quite nice with the fake, and it wouldn't really get in the way, but.
the problem we have is whatever we put in, if somebody wants to let their dog off, if you can
Well,
let a child in,
yeah.
you can let a dog in.
I think this
So-
is where we need, in the short term, I think we need, irrespective of, we need big signage.
Area signs.
Yes, I would say we need no dogs under any circumstances. See, no dogs on the village green under any circumstances, like there and here. So if they do come out of the hall, they're going to see the sign and go, right,
Is
we're not
there,
supposed to go
you
there.
said there's a small sign at the moment.
There's
in the
a
wrong
sign, but
place.
it's
Yeah.
not in a very good
Can that be relocated to here?
It doesn't really,
Say
the bit
no,
that
go
says
away.
no dogs is a little bit.
I'm just wondering in the short term, rather than buy an
Okay,
additional
so
sign.
If we get a quote then for a couple of signs for the two entrances, in effect, say no dogs with logo crossed through with, I think if you start putting it under any circumstances, you're going to get words getting small, you just need big, bold.
Yeah.
And we'll get at least one contractor to give us a ballpark figure for the two sets of fencing, which we can then bring back to the next meeting and then see what the options
Steve
are.
Ping probably would do that. I'm just thinking about the signage. What size do you reckon should be?
No dogs allowed, £11.95.
Where's that from?
Just online.
What
Oh
size?
no, I don't know. I've clicked on that.
You probably need it to be A3.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Is that adhesive or is it
Uh,
hard plastic?
no, that's hard plastic, and you can have any size you want really.
Where's that from?
400 by 600 mil,
For 11 quid?
600 by 900.
Okay.
Take the price now.
So we didn't have our
Have it.
specialist in signage. There was any more.
No, well, that's it, that's kind of the problem with the sign.
We've done that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the problem.
If you can liaise with David.
Yeah,
on
okay.
some area signs.
Sure, okay. Will do.
He's ordered it already.
So would that include though guide dogs, assisted dogs?
I think you always have to make an exception.
You do.
No,
You
the only
can't
exception on
not accept that.
But then you never normally see that on the sign saying no dogs except.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is we.
Our rule
I think,
is, yeah.
yes, if it was for like the fete or something. I mean, there is an ex-councillor who I know has been on duty at the fete,
Wow.
like literally stopping anybody going on there with a dog.
Mm.
And he used to be very, very,
You're not
very.
allowed to
I
do
mean, if he
that,
was
no.
there and he saw it, he'd be. Yes, I mean, not if it was an assistant.
Yes,
that's
that's
really different.
different.
But I think if you just put no dogs, then it's they would kind of.
No, there you go.
Okay, so we'll get the quotes
We'll do that.
for those and report it back to the next.
Yeah.
meeting.
Maybe actually 3 weeks next meeting.
Okay, and then it was asked also to put the locking and unlocking at Hill Lane car park on the agenda. Just to let you know, to be frank, we haven't had a discussion with the closest neighbours since the last meeting. I think we need to do that and see if they are up. The inference I think they gave us was that they might well be prepared prepared to work with us on that. If you're happy that we make that approach to them initially, and then I know East Brent actually are going through the same thing with their yard at the moment. They're putting out a request in their next village magazine asking for any volunteers who want to help them with their locking and unlocking of their gates. But at least if we start with the landowners who are most affected by it, they seem to imply they might be prepared to work with us.
I was going to say, I believe they do seem to be using that as an access point, and I've seen them driving in and out of it. So I think it would be difficult for us to start looking at without, communicating with them first, because obviously they have access over it anyway, don't they?
Okay, so we will make the one thing I think we do need potentially to agree tonight is to give ourselves a ballpark of what we think the opening hours might need to be. I mean, again, going by East Brent, they're at 8 till 8. It's the operation hours that they have.
Year round?
That's all year for them.
Okay.
I don't think it needs to be open till 8 o'clock at night. But
Well, it does in
In
the
the
summer.
oh, in the summer, but not this time of year. I mean, because it's
I think I would recommend we have 2 separate opening hours.
yes.
Winter definitely not as late as 8 o'clock. So just don't think.
6
Four.
o'clock,
Four.
4.
Yeah.
Until 4.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then summer, 8 a.m.
Would
to
that change
Later
with the
though.
clocks? Would it?
It's too late.
Yeah.
8 till late.
And
Sometimes
so,
5.
yes, so when the change of the hours.
When the clocks change, I guess.
Because again, what we need to, because whatever we decide, we're going to have to put on signs and make sure people know, because then you're going to get,
Yeah, people locked in.
Yes.
They can't be locked in.
Winter and summer, isn't it? So
Yes.
with the clocks, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, when the clocks change. Really? Well,
but
Not
GMT.
necessarily
the clocks
true.
change
Yeah.
at different dates, don't they? So when you,
Not in the UK, as in it's always the.
end of March,
Yeah.
at the end of
it's not
October.
the same, it's not.
Oh, you're saying
the
what date?
first of
Okay, yes,
September,
yeah.
It's,
You
So-
could say April to November if you wanted to.
I'm assuming we would
summer,
have some signage for this.
Yes.
So you could say spring, autumn, winter, summer, or whatever it is.
Mm.
I don't know, maybe that's
I
assuming
think we
people
just
know
need to
too
keep
much.
this, to be honest, it needs to be simple as well.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
if you make it too complicated, everyone's going to get.
So the end of the clocks always change at the end of March. So you
Yeah.
could say from the 1st of
You
April,
could say the first.
1st of April to the end of September.
We'll have one
Or the end of
this
October,
side.
and
End
then
of
the
October.
clocks change again.
Yeah,
Yes, so the 1st of April
to the end of
to
October.
the 31st of October,
March.
and then the 1st of November to the 31st of March.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
So
wouldn't
we
it?
have signage for that then?
Yeah, and we're saying that's
No,
8
David, all of them.
till,
I should speak to the
Come on,
land.
John.
Speak to
and
the
then
land.
again, let's
So-
confirm those times. You were saying 8 till 5 in the winter and 8 till 8 in the summer.
No, 8 till 4 in the winter.
I think it needs to be earlier than 8 in the summer.
Earlier, if people are
You
walking
wanna
up the
see the
knoll to see
people
the
like-
sunsets.
No, it's in the morning. Do you mean open
No, no, in the morning.
in the morning? Yeah.
Oh, no, in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, to be frank, if we say it opens at 8, if we open it earlier than 8, that's
it
not
doesn't
wrong.
That's
matter,
fine.
yes, I see what you mean, yes, yeah.
But people know it will be open.
Yeah,
The challenge will be no
I mean,
people want
usually
to lock the gate at 10 o'clock.
I'll go up there at 6
So-
o'clock and invariably there's already people up there.
Yeah.
Well, you can do the early shift.
I think evenings in the summer.
Okay.
I would say 9.
They're early.
In the summer, we close it.
8 till 4 and 8 till 9.
Yeah, but they might be up there star watching.
Well, they've been told that the gate's going to be shut at 9,
Yeah.
so don't park there.
New Year's Eve there were people up.
Yeah.
Jay.
So 8
That's,
a.m.
that's in the winter hours, and we close it at 4 o'clock. So
They'll get there locked in,
okay,
in their camper
You know,
probably.
there will
Yeah,
have to be
that's
a
right.
contact number.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you put my number down, it's just a matter of.
You get the message. I'm really sorry, the parish office is closed.
Have you got the keys?
Okay, well again, we can get a quote from the sign people
Okay.
for that.
Area and signs will be thinking, oh, yeah, Brent Knoll Parish Council, put it on
I
time.
was going to give them a mass order.
Discountable. Okay, matters of report. Jane?
No, sorry.
No.
I've got something I'd like to mention.
Okay.
Annual parish meeting. that will be looming up before we know it. How do we want to proceed with it? I mean, 2 years ago we did the questions and answers thing, which was very successful. We did that 2 years ago. Is it something worth revisiting again?
I wasn't here, so I don't know how it worked.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
You know.
How does the question and answer session
Well,
work?
basically, we had a panel of about 5 people. We had the school, the vicar at that time, the shop. Bob was there as the Somerset Council, and so yeah. And then people just we had lots of people in the audience, and they weren't pre-prepared questions. I just sort of chaired it and said, look, you know, any questions? And as they asked the questions, I forwarded it to the person first of all who was most relevant to the question, and then asked everybody for their view on it. And we had about 60 people at that.
It's quite a good idea, isn't it, really?
I mean, I guess we still need to do the annual report.
Yeah, still need to do
the figures.
The standard bits.
Sort of paragraphs of it, but yeah.
If we can get people to support it.
Have we got a date for it?
We have, I can't tell you exactly what it is, man. It's April 17th, 18th, that sort of time. The date, yeah.
No, you
Is it in the day or in the evening?
Evening.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll make a few inquiries anyway to see whether people are up for it.
I think the question and answer session sounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably the best